counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm sorry, man. I'm a little delayed. I thought I had my notes ready. I ain't have them ready, but welcome back to CTC as I get my notes ready. I know y'all wondering, like, dang, Carl he's live late tonight. Yeah, Ravens played at 9:30. Had to watch my boys this morning at 9:30. Get a dub in London, 24-16 against the Titans, moving on to 4-2 and first in the division. But this ain't the show you hear that from. This is a college football, college basketball show, and that's what I came to deliver y'all. So let's get right into it. Before we get into it, I would like to ask if you leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you like the content on this show or on this network. Now, with this network, we do have 5 shows in total. We have my show, CTC. We have the main show featuring Tomo, Dave, and Joe. Why do I keep blanking on Joe's name? Tomo, Dave, and Joe. We have BWT, Baseball with Teddy, where, we got the ALCS tonight, the conference finals. My Rangers, not my favorite team, but the team I picked to win it all, versus the Astros. You got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. And then you got the Joe Jordan Show. So if you like any of the content on those shows, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Go down the rabbit hole and enjoy yourself. Watch a couple videos, see if you like some of them. You know what I'm saying? Try to tune in. Now, I normally do poll talk on Monday or Wednesdays, but because I'm filming so late, the polls already came out. We can do poll talk right now. So with poll talk, nothing changes in the top 4. Georgia stays at 1, Michigan stays at 2, Ohio State stays at 3, and Florida State stays at 4. Now I know a Penn State fan who's pissed because Washington jumps up from 7 to 5, leapfrogging Penn State. Oklahoma drops from 5 to 6, and Penn State is now at 7. Now, do I disagree with that? Not really. Washington has the best win of the 3 with their win against Oregon. Now, Oklahoma, well, no, I take that back. Oklahoma actually has the best win of the 3, beating number 3 at the time, Texas, who is now only ranked 8. So still best win of the 3. But Washington has looked way better. Washington didn't struggle with Cincy like Oklahoma did. Washington didn't struggle with SMU like Oklahoma did. So I know you're saying, Carl, Washington didn't play them teams. But what I'm saying is when they played teams, they dominated. Now, Penn State has the worst win of all 3. Now, West Virginia is not a bad win, but it's not better than ranked now 9, Oregon at the time 8. And it's not better than ranked now 8 at the time 3, Texas. So Penn State falling to 7, not mad at. Texas 8, not mad there. They're probably the best one-loss team right now. Oregon 9, not mad at that. Lost to a great Washington team. 10, North Carolina, not mad at that. 11, Bama, no gripes. 12, Oregon State. 13, Ole Miss coming off a bye. Ain't no Penn State hater, Ty. You can't push that narrative over here. It just makes sense. You can't argue the logic. 14, Utah. 15, Notre Dame. I feel like that's cool. They did beat Duke, who's at 16, so I'm not mad there. 17, Tennessee, not mad there. They did struggle with Texas A&M at home. 18, SC. I think LSU honestly should have leapfrogged them, and Mizzou should have leapfrogged them. SC's been playing with fire the last 3 weeks. They played with fire against Colorado. They played with fire against Arizona State, took that to like 3 overtimes, and they got blown out by Notre Dame. I understand LSU has 2 losses, one being to now ranked 4 Florida State and one being to Ole Miss on a last-second touchdown. LSU did have the ball and didn't score late, but I feel like LSU right now is the better team. They're the more hotter team offensively. Defensively, they're probably slightly better than SC. Both defenses aren't great. And Mizzou 6-1. They're a great football team. I was completely wrong about Mizzou. They're now at 20. Louisville dropped 7 spots to 21. Air Force, welcome Air Force, still undefeated, beating Wyoming, is at 22. Shout out to the Mountain West. 23 is Tulane back in the top 25 after beating Memphis. Iowa, like I said in the chats, jumps at 24. They are now ranked. UCLA is now down to 25. I would have liked to see James Madison at 25. James Madison, undefeated. James Madison just handled somebody again at the top of the Sun Belt, has beaten Troy, undefeated. I would have loved to see James Madison get some love and get ranked at top 25. Now, another team, I'm going to read some teams that received votes as per ESPN. You had, well, like I said, James Madison, who I personally would have liked at 25, get 2 losses, UCLA out of here. Clemson got some votes again at 2 losses. Florida has some votes. I don't know about that. Washington State, no, get them out of here. 2 terrible weeks in back-to-back. Fresno State, not mad there. Liberty, not mad there. Wyoming blew it after losing to Air Force. Kentucky, no. Kansas, no. Miami shouldn't have been there in the first place. West Virginia, no, you just lost off a crazy Hail Mary. We'll get into that. And Oklahoma State, maybe. They have been playing some good football lately. But those are teams that got votes. Again, my only gripe really is I think LSU should be up above SC and James Madison should be ranked instead of UCLA. But that's it for poll talk. Again, as always, if you have any disagreements, if you agree, you just want to comment, you're going to be like Ty, call me a hater, feel free to leave a comment at the end of the video. Just feel free. Now, moving on, we have to go into our recaps. And I recap Tuesday games on Wednesday. So we're going to be starting from Wednesday all the way to the games on Saturday. So with our first recap, we have UTEP at FIU. I did pick FIU to win this game. Unfortunately, they did not. UTEP came out hot, and all it took was them to have a hot first half, and FIU just could not match for the rest of the game. Final score, UTEP 27, FIU 14. UTEP gets its second win, I believe, on the road at FIU, even though FIU was in the clean Miami Vice jerseys. UTEP, Kelly Akari, had an amazing game. You might hear that name later at the end of the show. UTEP gets the ball first and scores a 1-yard Deion Hankins touchdown run after driving down the field. Then FIU does nothing. UTEP gets the ball back, 80-yard bomb to Kelly Akari, touchdown. FIU then gets a turnover on downs on 4th and 2. Keon Jenkins 3-yard loss, or Kewan Jenkins, leads to a 23-yard Kelly Akari touchdown catch, set up by a 50-yard Jeremiah Ballard reception. With 6:10 left in the second quarter, FIU scores an 11-yard Keon Owens touchdown run. UTEP answers with a 37-yard field goal set up by Torrance Burgess that entire drive for the most part. FIU to start the second half scores a 1-yard Keon Jenkins, touchdown run. And I thought, okay, first half starting out rocky, second half we're gonna get it together. Not quite. So after the touchdown run, FIU recovers an onside kick, but then have a turnover on downs on 4th and 7 due to a 3-yard Kewan Jenkins, run. Short turnover on downs leads to a UTEP punt. However, the UTEP gets the ball back, misses a 33-yard field goal, but FIU again punts the ball. FIU Kewan Jenkins throws a pick, and it leads to a 20-yard field goal. And then Kewan Jenkins again gets sacked, fumbles, leads to a UTEP 42-yard field goal, missed. Then FIU gets the ball back, and Hayden Carlson on 4th and 6 throws an incomplete pass. UTEP needs the ball out. UTEP wins the game. Like I said, an explosive first half. Didn't really do much. Really an explosive first quarter. Didn't really do much after that, but that's all it took. First 3 drives, scored touchdown, 21 points. FIU got punched in the mouth, did not recover. And yeah, Kelly Akari, an amazing game. UTEP was able to get the run on track. And man, I'm blanking on his name, the quarterback. I think Cade McConnell. Amazing game. The stats might not show it because he had 262 and Kelly Akari had like 200 of those, but he actually played the best football or the best quarterback play I've seen from a UTEP team this year, including Gavin Hardison. So shout out to him. Great game by him. And yeah, UTEP, good W. So we move on to Sam Houston State at New Mexico State. Now, I called my shot here. I liked what I was seeing from Sam Houston State the past 2 years. I just felt like they let games slip away, both defensively and offensively. But Sam Houston State did not show up on the road this week. I called my shot for the win, and New Mexico State shut me up, winning the game 27-13 at home. Now, this game was kind of similar to the FIU game. I'm sorry, I got trolled for a second. They start off hot in the first half. New Mexico State scored 27 points. Second half didn't score anything. So we'll get into it. Sam Houston State starts the game with the punt, and New Mexico State starts with a 22-yard Diego Pavea touchdown run. Just moved the ball down the field so quick and so easily. Then New Mexico State scores a 78-yard touchdown pass to Trent Hudson. New Mexico State scores a 22-yard field goal right after that. Starts off the break 17. Sam Houston State turnover on downs, 4th and 2. Pass complete, but short of the first down, leads to a 39-yard field goal, so 20-0. Then after that, New Mexico State scores a 12-yard Trent Hudson touchdown catch for that final 27th point of the game. Like I said, they don't score in the second half. New Mexico State starts the second half with a punt, which Sam Houston State also starts with a punt. Sam Houston State blocks New Mexico State's punt with 6:29 left in the third, leads to a 16-yard Noah Smith touchdown catch, but the 2-point is no good. The Sam Houston State gets a 45-yard field goal attempt, but it is missed, which leads to a New Mexico State punt. Sam Houston State scores a 6-yard Noah Smith touchdown catch, and that'd be it for real. 2 turnover on downs after that. Keegan Shoemaker pass incomplete on 4th and 8 for the first one, and then another Keegan Shoemaker pass incomplete leads to the end of the game. Now, like I said, Sam Houston State, they came into the game. They woke up late. Second half played much better than the first half. And New Mexico State looked like they were in cruise control the second half. First half, they came out blazing, could not be stopped. Second half, Sam Houston State woke up, didn't allow any points, but it was a little too late. Couldn't get an sustained offense enough to come back and win the game. So, hats off to New Mexico State. Sam Houston State still winless, still looking for their first W. I don't know when they're going to get it. I hope it's soon. I don't want to see Sam Houston State come up from FCS to FBS and go 0-12 their first season. I'm rooting for these FCS schools to at least do something. I know Jack State has been balling 5-2, but Sam Houston State, give me a W, man. So we move on to a crazy game Thursday night. West Virginia at Houston. If you didn't see it, you missed a good one. I picked West Virginia to win this game. I thought the game would be a low-scoring game. Houston won off of a crazy Hail Mary at the end of the game, won the game 41-39. And while I'm watching this, after the end of the game, I'm like, I'm on a crazy cold streak. I can't pick nothing right. I got this game wrong. I got the Sam Houston State game wrong. I got the FIU game wrong. Like, I'm failing y'all at CTC. I'm failing y'all. I'm like, man, I'm on a cold streak. But let's just get into it. Houston starts with a punt. But West Virginia gets the ball, gets a 27-yard field goal, 3-0. Then Houston then takes the opening kick, the ensuing kickoff. Matt Golden, again, another kick return, had one against TCU, now gets one against West Virginia. Takes a kickoff return to the crib, 100 yards. But West Virginia answers with a C.J. Donaldson 5-yard touchdown run of his own. And with 28 seconds left in the half, after a series of punts, Donovan Smith and this Houston offense gets it together. They find a chink in the West Virginia defense's armor, drives down the field for a 2-yard Donovan Smith touchdown run. They were able to move the ball so effectively on this last drive before the half. The West Virginia starts the second half with a 35-yard Traylon Ray touchdown catch. Houston starts the second half with a 3-and-out punt. West Virginia, Gary Green throws a pick, which leads to a 15-yard Joseph Manjack touchdown catch, which he had a pretty good second half. The whole Houston had a pretty good second half. West Virginia answers with a 1-yard touchdown, Gary Green touchdown run. Houston answers with an 8-yard Samuel Brown touchdown catch, was one of my key players of the game. Houston then scores a 21-yard touchdown pass to Steven Johnson. Remember that name for later. West Virginia answers with an 8-yard Gary Green touchdown run, and the 2-point is good with 12 seconds left. Game on the line, 4th and 10. They get a 50-yard Hudson Clement touchdown catch. But Gary Green, after the touchdown, gets a questionable, unsportsmanlike conduct celebration call, moves the kickoff back. Pretty decent kickoff. They set up, but Houston runs a play. I think they run like a quick out or something like that to set up a Hail Mary. And Stephon Johnson catches a 49-yard Hail Mary with time expiring. The ball was batted up. It was not batted down. It looked like Joseph Banjak actually kind of tipped it to him for the touchdown. Houston wins 49-31. Like I said, set up by the questionable, unsportsmanlike conduct for celebrating call on Garrett Green. But what can you do? I've seen it before. I've seen it at Syracuse-Purdue last year when Purdue went up against Syracuse at Syracuse. It sucks, man. It really does suck. But you can't get yourself in them situations. Great win by Houston. I was talking like when West Virginia scored, like, dang, it sucks for Dana Holgorsen. He's pissed. He's still 0 in the Big 12. I would be pissed too. Like, you had this game. You moved so great offensively. You let one slip away. And then they get one. They catch a gift with a Hail Mary. So shout out to them. First one in the Big 12. Moving on. We have a not so competitive game. SMU at ECU. I did pick SMU to win the game. SMU 31-10. I didn't think that it would be close. It was close throughout the game. SMU pulled away late. Both teams started the game punting twice. The SMU scores a 21-yard touchdown to Keyshawn Smith, set up by a 39-yard Keyshawn Smith catch. SMU then scores a 24-yard touchdown by Radrick Daniels, the junior, set up by a 48-yard Jordan Curley catch. Then ECU answers with a 49-yard field goal. With 2:47 left in the second quarter, ECU scores a 6-yard touchdown run by Mason Garcia, which was set up by Chase Sewell, a 45-yard catch. Then to start the second half, both teams punt. And with 37 seconds left in the third, SMU misses a 38-yard field goal, which leads to an ECU Alex Fink fumble, which leads to an SMU 50-yard field goal. So a bit of a sloppy play there. With 7:22 left in the game, ECU Alex Finn throws a pick six. Then SMU gets the ball back and scores a 43-yard RJ Maryland touchdown pass. And then ECU to end the game, 4th and 10, Mason Garcia pass incomplete. SMU kneels out the game. Not too much to be said about this game. Shout out to ECU for fighting for as long as they did. Kept it close throughout majority of the game. SMU pulled away with the pick six and then the ensuing touchdown. I think at that point it was 17-10 before the pick six and the extra touchdown. So the score looked worse than what the actual game, the competition level of the game was. But anyway, shout out to getting the dub. We move on to Friday night. And Friday night had some bangers, man. Friday night had some bangers for sure. Long football night. So if you weren't watching, I think playoff baseball was on. I'm not exactly sure. But I can't remember. But hey, man, had some great college football. I do remember that. Tulane at Memphis. I did pick Tulane to win this game. Tulane ended up winning 31-21. Big second half by Tulane's defense. Both teams start the game with punts. Memphis, Seth Hennigan throws a pick, which leads to a 2-yard Mekhi Hughes touchdown run. Now, the pick was like on the sideline. He overshot a guy, I believe, and the guy made a diving catch, if I remember correctly. With 8:11 left in the second quarter, Tulane makes a 26-yard field goal. And I thought Tulane might run away with this. I know they were talking about during the broadcast, the home team, I think, in this game has never lost. I'm like, okay, Tulane might run away with this. Memphis is not came out, it's ready to play. Tulane is a top group of 5 conference team. You can't start off slow against this Tulane team. Then Memphis put it in high gear. Memphis answers with a 17-yard Demir Blankum 17-yard catch. Well, touchdown catch. The Tulane 4th and 3, turnover on downs. Michael Pratt pass incomplete, which leads to a 28-yard touchdown pass to Joseph Sketz. Tulane runs out the first half clock after the touchdown. So it's 14-10 Memphis. And I'm like, okay, Memphis is back in the game. Tulane. This is what blew me about Tulane. Tulane had 45 seconds, 3 timeouts before the end of the half. and Willie Fritz chose to run the ball and run the clock out, didn't trust his senior quarterback, Michael Pratt, to try to make some plays. You have 3 timeouts. The clock stops on first downs temporarily. Didn't even give him a chance. And I thought it would bite them later in the game because I was saying you have to give them a chance. You have to trust your guys that don't make a play. 45 seconds is ample time left in this situation with 3 timeouts, but they chose not to do it, and it ended up not hurting. I definitely said that because Memphis got the ball back, and Memphis started the second half with a touchdown. 10-yard touchdown pass to Kobe Drake. But that'd be it for Memphis. That was the last Memphis touchdown. After that, Tulane answers with a 1-yard Michael Pratt touchdown run. Tulane then scores a 9-yard touchdown run by Euclid Brown to take the lead, and they would never relinquish it again. Memphis, Seth Hannigan throws a pick, which leads to an 11-yard Lawrence Keys touchdown catch. And then Memphis on 4th and 18 has an incomplete pass, but Tulane punts. And then Memphis has an 18-yard catch to Rock Taylor, but the game is over. They just let the clock run out. Tulane. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm live. My mother called me. She texted me. My mother called and texted me, asking me, because I ain't answer the phone. Am I good? She didn't like the picture on my Instagram. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. Just had to let her know I'm straight. All right. So, yeah, to the Tulane game. Now, Tulane. And I forgot to write this receiver name down. He made timely catches. He only had 3 catches, but he had 3 catches for 100 yards. I forgot his name for Tulane. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. Charles Brazil Jr. Timely catches. The freshman made big catches, contested catches down the field. Man. And then for Memphis, Blakeham C made big catches. He had 6 for 108, made big catches down the field, made timely catches. Just wasn't enough to get the dub. So shout out Tulane, 5-1, major step in trying to win this American Athletic Conference. So shout out to Tulane there. Now we move on to Mountain West play, where we had Fresno State, one of my favorites to win the Mountain West. Might have to change that to Air Force. Air Force has been looking real dominant. Fresno State at Utah State. I picked Fresno State to win this game. Fresno State did win this game. And depending on when you bet on Fresno State, they may have covered for you. I think up until maybe kickoff or a little bit before kickoff, Fresno State was -4.5, but then it jumped to 5.5. So depending on when you bet on them, you might have covered the spread. Shout out my dog J-Mo in the building. Both got the dub today. But yeah, Fresno State wins 37-32. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get some W's. I ain't failing y'all too much. I got the Fresno State win. I got the SMU win. I got the Tulane win. We getting some W's. Fresno State, both teams start with a punt. After the punts, Fresno State then scores a 5-yard Malik Sherrod touchdown run. Then Utah State answers with a 29-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Royals. With 2:45 left in the second quarter, after Fresno State scores a 7-yard touchdown pass to Trey Watson. But then Utah State answers again with a 52-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Royals. And that'd be it for the first half. We're going to the first half tied. Now, coming out in the second half, Utah State starts with a 37-yard field goal to go up 3. Fresno State answers with a 46-yard touchdown run by Malik Sherrod. Malik Sherrod had a pretty good game. Utah State turnover on downs, 4th and 6. Cooper Legar's pass incomplete, and it leads to a little trickeration. Jalen Gill throws a 19-yard touchdown pass to Trey Watson to put Fresno State up 10. Utah State would then throw a pick, Cooper Legar's, but it leads to a Fresno State punt. The Utah State will score with a 43-yard touchdown pass to Terrell Vaughn, and the 2-point is good. Fresno State will answer with a 26-yard field goal. Then Utah State will score a 24-yard Rasul Faison touchdown run. But then Fresno State would answer with an 11-yard Malik Sherrod touchdown run. The 2-point is no good. And then Cooper Legar throws his second pick of the night to end the game. Fresno State escapes out of Utah State with the W. Fresno State, honestly, this game was competitive. It was a little bit more competitive than I thought it would be. Fresno State, man, shout out to them. Didn't have Mikey Keene. Don't know how long Mikey Keene will be gone for. Logan Fife stepped up, made plays when they had to, but they really led on the running. They really, leaned on the running back, Malik Sherrod. And Malik Sherrod carried them to victory on the ground. So shout out Fresno State getting the W, trying to keep pace with Air Force and Wyoming in that right now. Log jam first place of the Air Force is clearly in front in the Mountain West, first place. But they're trying to keep pace. Shout out Teddy. What's up, my boy Teddy? BWT in the building. We move on to a game that I went to sleep on at halftime. Maybe a lot of people in the USA went to sleep on at halftime and woke up shocked. We move on to Colorado and Stanford at Colorado. Now, I did pick Colorado to win this game. Probably 99% of America picked Colorado to win this game. And Stanford won the game in double overtime, 46-43, thanks to the heroics of Alec Ayomanor. Man, I went to sleep on the best part of the game. I went to sleep on the best part. I watched the most boring part. I watched the first half. Colorado was dominant. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't gotta watch the rest of this. Colorado, I'm gonna wake up. Colorado's gonna win the game. I'll recap the second half. You know what I'm saying? I'll watch it, recap it. But no. So we'll get into it. Stanford starts with a punt. I ain't even gonna do that. Stanford does not score in the first half. Colorado goes touchdown. Colorado goes this 9-yard touchdown to Xavier Weaver. 24-yard touchdown passes to Travis Hunter. Missed field goal by Stanford, which was a huge momentum boost to Colorado. Touchdown pass to Xavier Weaver, 39 yards. Turnover on down, Stanford leads to a 14-yard Xavier Weaver touchdown run. In between those were, let me get those correct because I forgot to write them down. Because Colorado, I think, went for 2 at one point, didn't get it. I think they missed an extra point at one point. So let me get y'all those correctly. So they start off with the extra point being good, make their first 2 extra points. Then they go for 2 and get the 2-point conversion, Then they get their extra point. So on the third touchdown, they do go for 2, get it. They go up 29-0. And then, like I said, I go to sleep. Colorado misses the field goal before the half. It's short. I did see that. And I go to sleep. I'm like, all right, cool. It's over. Cool. I ain't got to stay up that late. I had something happen that I won't say. So it was cool for me to go to sleep too. That was kind of bothering me. And then the second half, just Stanford woke up. Colorado starts with a turnover on down, and that probably shifted momentum there. 4th and 2, turnover on downs. Shador gets sacked, which leads to a 2-yard Bryce Farrell touchdown run, but the 2-point is no good. Stanford then scores a 97-yard touchdown pass to the crib by Alec Ayomanor, and the 2-point is no good. Then Stanford scores a 60-yard touchdown pass again to Alec Ayomanor. They go for the extra point. And then another turnover on downs, up 10, Colorado, 4th and 4, intentional grounding call, which is going to be a sack probably anyway. Leads to a 1-yard Justin Lambson touchdown. Right now is a 3-point game. But Colorado answers with a 16-yard touchdown pass to Travis Hunter. And now it's back to a 10-point game. And then Stanford answers again with a 3-yard touchdown pass to Bryce Farrell. Stanford then at the end of regulation kicks a field goal to tie the game. Force OT, and at OT they trade touchdowns. Colorado scores a 4-yard Javon Antonio touchdown catch, and Stanford scores a 30-yard pass to Alec Ayomanor. Crazy catch. He caught the ball on Travis Hunter's helmet, literally a head tap touchdown. Then Colorado, Shador Sanders throws a pick in double OT, which leads to a 31-yard game-winning field goal. Now, besides the obvious of Alec Ayomanor having a spectacular game, you're going to hear his name at major performances. He rightfully deserves it. This game for Colorado puts them at 4-3, 2 games away from being bowl eligible. I had them going 6-6, and I felt like Colorado needed this game here. Now, Washington State, I think they do play them, and they are on a slide right now. Cam Ward has been looking bad. Lose 2 straight in blowout fashion. But Colorado his schedule doesn't get easier. Colorado, let's look at their schedule. I remember they do play Oregon State. Not necessarily a W. Colorado State has been playing great defense. They're going to dominate Colorado in the trenches. Colorado also, my suit, it went right to it. UCLA, not this week, but next week, another great defensive team. Now, Dante Moore, as I'll state later, I'll talk to Dante Moore later, but UCLA, not great offensively, but can run the mess out the ball, which is Colorado's weakness. Oregon State, same thing, heavy run. Defense is crazy. Arizona is a game I feel like Colorado can get. Washington State, maybe, but Utah. Now, maybe they get Utah because Utah offense is terrible. I don't know if Cam Rising just shuts it down for the rest of the year. Utah is 5-1. They still have a chance for the Pac-12, especially with SC losing. But I don't have them beating Utah either. They needed this game to go bowl eligible. Right now, 6-6 is a possibility, but it's less of a possibility than a guarantee. I see 5-7 at the least, 6-6 at the most right now. But with the Stanford win, they would have been 5-2, with the most being 7-5, with the least being 6-6. Arizona is no slouch. They've been playing great football lately. They just beat the mess out of Washington State. They took SC to 3 overtimes. But, man, Colorado, tough and terrible loss if you wanted to go bowling and Deion's first year in Boulder. Now, we move on to Saturday. And what a Saturday we had, but not in the noon. The Saturday games, noon, sucked. We'll probably just fly by these real quick. So we had Ohio State at Purdue. I had Ohio State winning. No spoiler making here this weekend. Ohio State wins 41-7. Purdue starts with the ball, and they miss a 58-yard field goal. Can't miss opportunities when you're trying to upset a team. It leads to an Ohio State 14-yard touchdown pass to Marvin Harrison Jr., but the point after is no good. Wouldn't matter. Ohio State then gets the ball back and score a 2-yard touchdown run by Devin Brown. Get the ball back. Devin Brown fumbles in the red zone, but it leads to a 3-and-out punt. Ohio State would then score a 4-yard touchdown pass to Marvin Harrison Jr. for his second on the day. It with 2 seconds left in the half. Purdue misses a 39-yard field goal. 2 blown opportunities. Ohio State then gets the ball first to start the second half, scores a 1-yard Dallin Hayden touchdown run, terrible handwriting. Purdue then misses a 27-yard field goal, leads to a 14-yard Cade Stover touchdown catch, and with 45 seconds left in the third, Cal McCord fumbles on sack, in the third leads to a Deion Burke 6-yard touchdown catch. But that'd be it for Purdue, and then Ohio State then scores a Devin Brown 58-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Ennis. And the game would end. Like, that'd be it. That'd be it for the scoring. The game was boring. Ohio State dominated from start to finish. Purdue defensively is trash. Like, it's not a good defense. Offensively, Hudson Card is hit or miss. This offense is hit or miss. Purdue team, man, I think they are currently with 3 wins. I think this Purdue team has 3 wins. No, they have 2. 2-5. They're looking to miss the bowl. They got to clean it up quick. I do agree with that, Ty. Big game coming up. Will be previewed on Wednesday. Now we move on to another blowout. Syracuse at number 4, Florida State. Picked Florida State to win. One blowout fashion, 41-3. Never a contest. Syracuse gets the ball first, goes 3-and-out and punt. Florida State gets the ball first, scores a 2-yard Jordan Travis touchdown run, set up by Keon Coleman. Florida State then gets a 48-yard field goal. Syracuse will answer with a 37-yard field goal, and that'd be it for them on the day. They just get the answer with the field goal, and that's it. They don't score for the rest of the day. Then Florida State answers with a 58-yard touchdown pass to my guy, Keon Coleman, one of the best receivers in the country. Syracuse then fumbles. Gary Schrader fumbles. Florida State recovers, leads to a turnover on downs with a 4th-and-goal pass incomplete. And then with 3:03, Florida State turnover on downs. Jaheim Bell run stop short, leads to a punt. Both teams punt to start the second half. Florida State then scores a 2-yard Jordan Travis touchdown run. Syracuse misses a 37-yard field goal, but it leads to a punt. With 14:06 left in the game, Florida State gets a 29-yard field goal. Then they score a 50-yard Lawrence Toafili touchdown run. Then Florida State scores a Tate Rodemaker 44-yard touchdown pass to Hakeem Williams. Syracuse Carlos Del Rio Wilson throws an interception that throws salt in its own wound to lose the game 41-3. Like I said, not much to talk about here. Florida State in dominant fashion. Keon Coleman, another big game from receiving and in the punt return game, over 100 punt return yards. Florida State dominates. Florida State now has Duke coming up, so need to repeat the same performance against a way better defense. Now we move on to a game that was much better. Arkansas at number 11, Alabama. I picked Alabama to win. Alabama escaped with the W in Tuscaloosa, 24-21. Both teams start with 3-and-out punts. Now, Arkansas gets a 55-yard field goal. Then Arkansas gets the ball back and gets a 49-yard field goal. And then Alabama in the first half found something with the deep passing game. Alabama answers out on 3rd and 15. Answers with a 79-yard touchdown pass to Kobe Prentice. Like I said, they started to find something in that deep passing game. Arkansas, they was getting deep bombs against Arkansas. Alabama then scores a 1-yard Jalen Milroe touchdown run set up by Jermaine Burton 44-yard catch and the Ja'Cory Brooks 25-yard catch. Alabama then scores a 29-yard touchdown pass to Amari Knee-Black. Alabama then gets the ball to start the second half. They drive the ball, but they punt. I'll address that in a second. But they punt. Arkansas gets the ball and goes 3-and-out and punt. Alabama gets a 30-yard field goal and they go 24-6. And then Arkansas, they find something of their own offensively with 33 seconds left in the third quarter. Arkansas gets a 5-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Segner. Then Arkansas scores a 14-yard touchdown pass to Rashad Dubunian. But the 2-point is good. Then that puts that makes the score 21-24. Arkansas then gets the ball back after a Bama punt. And they're driving, but Dallas Turner gets a huge sack on 3rd down on KJ Jefferson, was punched ball. Arkansas is forced to punt the ball back, and Alabama runs out the last 5:19 of the game to escape with the W against Arkansas, 24-21. They weren't exactly able to hit those deep shots in the second half. I'm talking about Bama, but the first half, once they got that one deep shot to Kobe Prentice, it was like all bombs over Baghdad. They were hitting deep shots left and right, scoring touchdowns left and right. Jalen Milroe looked really good in the first half. Now, the second half, they were still able to maintain a passing game. They were hitting more intermediate shots in the second half. But Arkansas pretty much put a stop to that offense and was able to generate offense of their own in the second half. Just came up short in protecting KJ Jefferson late game. And couldn't get the stop to have one more crack at trying to win the game or putting it in the overtime late in the game against Bama. So shout out to Bama. Nick Saban still has a chance to win the SEC title, still has a chance to make the SEC championship game, and still has a chance to make the playoffs. You can never discount what the committee does for Bama. The committee takes over, I believe, this week. After this week, I think the committee starts to take over. So the AP poll is cute, but I think the committee takes over next week. So can't really trust the AP after that. Now let me address Mr. Tyrone Parker. If you remember, I think I said this in the chats. I might even said this on CTC. At first, I was pissed we let go of Keon Coleman. Now, knowing what I know now with the whole MSU Mel Tucker scandal, can't find a quarterback, even though Caden Hauser looked really good. And the fact that he's on a team that can win a natty, I'm not mad. I'm happy that he left and went somewhere to where he can prosper. And him going to Florida State raised his draft stock tremendously. So I would rather him leave and prosper than stay with us and suffer. Shout out to Keon Coleman, man. Unbelievable talent. I told Florida State what they had when he left. Just a great talent, man. And I'm never going to be mad at Keon for doing what was best for him and not what was best for my school, man. Shout out Keon. So moving on, I had to address that comment. We go to what I thought was going to be the best game of the noon slot, which became a blowout. Georgia Southern at James Madison. I picked JMU, James Madison, to win this game, and they didn't win. They dominated. Final score 41-13. Unbelievable domination here. I want to bring up the fact. I just want to make sure JMU is undefeated at 7 or 6-0. I can't find this game. Hold on. But JMU dominated. Jordan McLeod, look, he was just making plays. Yeah, JMU is 6-0. Jordan McLeod was just orchestrating the offense. Kalen Black was ripping runs. It just was beautiful by JMU. And I also brought up the fact Davis Brin had 7 interceptions going into yesterday. Yeah, because he has 9. JMU, the defense had 7 interceptions going into yesterday. Who would leave? Would the JMU defense leave with more picks, or would Davis Brin leave with 7 picks and not throw one? And your answer, Davis Brin threw 2 picks. JMU now 9 picks on the season, forced 3 picks. No, they have 10 picks. The backup even threw a pick. So JMU has 10 picks on the season. Just ball hawking defense by JMU. Let's get into the game. JMU gets ball first. Scored a 23-yard touchdown pass to Elijah Surratt. Converted a 4th and 2 to get there. The Georgia Southern gets the ball, and they stall out in JMU territory and have to punt. JMU scores a 15-yard touchdown pass to Kalen Black, set up by a 28-yard catch. By a 28-yard Tyson Lawton run. JMU scored a 23-yard field goal after that. They had a 2nd and goal touchdown pass get dropped on that, which had them settling for the field goal. They should have had a touchdown. Georgia Southern answers with a 43-yard field goal. JMU answers with a 46-yard field goal. So when Georgia Southern scored, JMU said we can do that too. Georgia Southern answers with a 27-yard field goal after converting 4th and 1 quarterback sneak right before the half. And then Georgia Southern starts the second half with a punt after 1 first down. And JMU starts the second half with a punt. JMU then scores a 15-yard touchdown pass to Kalen Black. Georgia Southern, Davis Brin throws an interception, leads to the 20-yard Kalen Black touchdown run. Then JMU scores a 4-yard Tyson Lawton touchdown run after that. Davis Brin throws the 2nd interception, leads to a 3-and-out punt. Now, I have here that Davis Brin threw a 3rd, but I remember not Chaz French, that's a rapper. The backup quarterback did end up throwing a pick. So let me correct myself on which pick he threw. The first pick, was J.C. French, not Davis Brin. The 2nd and the 3rd pick was Davis Brin. So Davis Brin actually throws the 2nd pick late game, but it leads to a 3-and-out punt. So both Davis Brin picks leads to 3-and-out punts. Georgia Southern then scores a 1-yard touchdown run by David and Bedinga. But that was at the end of the game, just to make the score look better. 41-13 don't look no better than 41-6. But, it shows that you are in double digits at least. But like I said, JMU dominated the whole game. Jordan McLeod orchestrated. Just the offense was so beautiful. Beautifully ran by Jordan McLeod. JMU, I don't think JMU can play for the Sun Belt title, which sucks. I don't even think JMU can go bowling, which also sucks. I always forget. I think I even gave y'all an answer last show, and I already forgot the answer I gave y'all. So I'll look it up, and I'll have an answer for y'all tomorrow when I preview Tuesday and Wednesday night games. But right now, I don't think JMU could go bowling or to the Sun Belt Championship. Shout out, what's up, Mom? Shout out my mother. She in the comments, so shout out moms. But now we move on to the 3:30 slot, man. Great game here. Oregon at 7. Washington. I picked Washington to beat Oregon for 2 years straight. I just trusted Michael Penix more, and boy, do I got something to say about Dan Lanning. So Washington wins the game 36-33. Last-minute touchdown. Roma Dunze with a great touchdown catch. Jalen Polk with a great catch leading up to that touchdown catch. Man, these NFL receivers, man. Washington got these NFL receivers going crazy against these college DBs. I'm not just saying Oregon is just strictly college DBs because Oregon has some good DBs. I'm just talking about in general. Don't want to seem like I'm throwing a shot to Oregon there. But, man, let's get into the game. Washington gets the ball first, and they get 1 first down and punt. Not what you're expecting in the Washington-Oregon game. Oregon goes 3-and-out and punt. I'm like, hold on. The over here was 67. Let's get it together. I ain't take the over, by the way, but I'm just saying, like, the over is set at 67. That's really a principal under for me, but in this game, I'm like, I'm not doing that. So, I'm like, where the points? So, Washington scored the 26-yard touchdown pass. And I'm like, here we go. To Giles Jackson, set up by Roma Dunze at 43-yard catch. Then Oregon answers with a 12-yard Bucky Irvin touchdown run and go for 2 and get it. That was set up by an unsportsmanlike conduct flag on Washington. Washington then answers, and this is where we just start throwing haymakers at each other. Washington answers with a 26-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Polk. Oregon answers with an 11-yard touchdown pass to Patrick Herbert. Washington answers with a 7-yard Dylan Johnson touchdown run, and the 2-point is good. Then Oregon answers with a 46-yard field goal set up by a defensive pass interference. Washington, Michael Penix then throws an interception, but it leads to a turnover on downs. 4th and goal, the pass is incomplete. Now, me personally, I think this is the one right before the half. I don't know why they didn't take the points. You get the ball back at halftime. You're down 1. It was no reason to gamble, but Bo Nix wanted to gamble. Dan Lanning backed his quarterback, and it killed him. I think you take the 3 there, double dip. Your offense has been playing great. Your defense at the time had 1 stop and been giving up points, but then you get a pick before the half. So that's a big momentum swing. Got to keep that momentum going. Running 4th and goal, plays incomplete. You leave with nothing. But then Oregon State, to start the second half, 3-and-out punt. So you leave with nothing twice. Washington then scores a 17-yard Roma Dunze touchdown catch. Then Oregon answers with a turnover on downs, 4th and 3, pass incomplete. You leave with nothing again. You go for it, you get nothing. But it leads to a 3-and-out punt by Washington. Oregon scores a 30-yard Troy Franklin touchdown catch after that and go for 2 and get it. Then Oregon gets another stop. Gets a 10-yard Jordan James touchdown run. Nice hard-fought run by Jordan James will not be denied. Then Washington turnover on downs in the red zone. Now, this is where I wanted them to run a play action on like second or third down. They had 3 cracks at the one to get it. Oregon goal line stand beautiful, blowing up every run play, was not allowing nothing. 4th and goal, the run and stop. Oregon with a chance to punt the ball and make Michael Penix have to go at least 80 yards. I think no timeouts or maybe one timeout. I can't remember. But has to go at least 80 yards. Says, no, we're going to go for a game. I disagree with the call and the decision. But they go for another 4th down. Turnover on downs. Another sprint out is incomplete by Bo Nix. Washington then in 2 plays. First play, 18-yard catch. I mean, not 18-yard catch, 35-yard catch to Jalen Pope. And then scored a game-winning touchdown. 18-yard catch to Roma Dunze. Well, Oregon still has time to drive down the field. They drive down the field for a 43-yard field goal, and it is no good. Washington wins at home against Oregon. Shout out the Huskies. Michael Penix is clearly in first place for the Heisman right now. I don't think it's close right now. Michael Penix is playing the best football, period. Caleb Williams, as I will get into later, has squandered his chances at the Heisman. Drake May, while undefeated, I can get into that. Drake May, while undefeated, has too many turnovers. He's not putting up the numbers like Michael Penix. They're top 10. Drake May is right there. They're top 10. Drake May is still a great quarterback. I just don't think he's there yet. But Washington still has a lot of football left. We still got 5 weeks of college football, depending on who's been on bye weeks and everything. But right now, Michael Penix is the Heisman. Dan Lanning, you were way too aggressive in this game. I understand wanting to win. I understand feeling like you're going to need points to win. But the first 4th down you went for, unnecessary. I don't care if my quarterback wants to go for it. This is where you have to say, look, son, I'm the coach. We can get 3 points here. We get the ball back. We can double dip. We can go up and score a touchdown, then go for 2 and go up 7, as opposed to getting nothing. Then getting nothing come out of half, and now you're still down 4. Could have at least been down 1. At the best, been up 7. But no, you leave with nothing. That comes back to haunt you. Another 4th down. The other 4th down, I'm really not that mad at. Later in the game, I'm really not that mad at being aggressive. I'm not a guy who never go for the 4th down. No, I'm a Ravens fan. We love to go for it. I love it. But at times. And the last 4th down, I would definitely disagree. Too many yards. Then you ran a play that they knew you were going to go to. You're going to it in the clutch too many times, especially in this game. Sprint out left, pass incomplete. Too many aggressive calls. Sometimes you got to play football the right way, the non-aggressive way. I feel like Dan Lanning cost his team a win. Dan Lanning may have caused Bo Nix a chance at the Heisman. A lot of football left. You got to pray for some Washington losses. But, man, this does not help Oregon right now. I know I spent a lot of time on that game, but I had to get that out about Dan Lanning. I did not agree with 2 of those 4th down calls. Now we go to a game that had less fireworks, probably more so than defense and sloppy offense. We move on to Texas A&M at Tennessee. Texas A&M Connor Wegman's out for the year, so we're on to Max Johnson. Tennessee, I picked Tennessee to win this game at home. Tennessee wins 20-13. SEC West slugfest defensively. Let's get into it. Tennessee gets the ball first drive and then punt. Texas A&M scored the 2-yard touchdown on his first drive. Touchdown run by Max Johnson. Tennessee has a turnover on downs, 4th and 2, pass incomplete, leads to a 3-and-out punt. Tennessee scores a 7-yard touchdown pass to Jacob Warren after that, and then Texas A&M answers with a 41-yard field goal. Tennessee answers with a 51-yard field goal missed, but then leads to a Texas A&M turnover on downs, 4th and 1. It was a bad play, busted play. I think the ball was like snapped low, and Max Johnson had to dive on it. Leads to a Texas A&M. No, Texas A&M gets the ball back to start the second half. Goes 3 and out and punt. Tennessee has a turnover on downs. 4th and 6. Joe Milton sacked. Leads to a 3 and out punt. But with 6:47 left in the third quarter, Texas A&M punts the ball to D. Williams, a short punt, and D. Williams takes it to the house, 39 yards to the house for a touchdown. And Texas A&M would answer with a field goal. So Texas A&M is now down 1. And then Joe Milton drives down the field, but he throws an interception. Joe Milton, man, I put my key to winning the game for Texas A&M was to turn over Joe Milton. They get it late in the game. But then Texas A&M misses a 50-yard field goal. And with that miss, it leads to Tennessee making a 31-yard field goal. Max Johnson, one opportunity left, throws a pick, actually had 2. So then Max Johnson gets the opportunity, down 4, throws a pick right to the defense. But Tennessee doesn't put the game away. They have to settle for a 24-yard field goal. So Max Johnson has one more chance, do or die drive, 4th and 10. He throws an interception. Game is over. Tennessee wins it. Tennessee escapes. Max Johnson ended up throwing picks with the game on the line twice. Tennessee did not look great offensively. Joe Milton looked a little inaccurate at times. And that's what I say, man. You get to Joe Milton, forcing him to be a little inaccurate. I understand he has a strong arm, can throw a ball 100 yards probably if you give him enough time. But, man, he can be inaccurate. He still has to fix these accuracy issues. He still has all the talent in the world as a quarterback. But it's just at times, man, at times. And sometimes they're at bad times. But Tennessee escapes the W in Knoxville, moves on, and it loaded SEC West. Now, for a game that I picked incorrect, Kansas with Jason Bean, still no Jalen Daniels, loses to Oklahoma State. And I'll get into the Kansas meltdown later in that game that actually cost me $300. This meltdown cost me $300. But Kansas, ranked 23. I was happy, banging the table. You're back, Frank. Lose to Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has been playing great football ever since the loss to South Alabama 33-7. Turned it around. Let's start with get into the game. Oklahoma State gets the ball first, and they go right down the field with a 17-yard touchdown pass to Ollie Gordon, set up by a 50-yard screen pass. I believe to Ollie Gordon. Then Kansas gets the ball and gets one first down and punts. I'm like, oh, man, here we go. Kansas about to blow it. Oklahoma State scored the 20-yard touchdown pass to Brendan Presley. Go up 14-0. And then Kansas answers with a 47-yard touchdown pass to Trevor Wilson. Oklahoma State answers with a 28-yard field goal set up by Rashad Owen. 40-yard catch. Kansas answers with a 30-yard touchdown pass to Mason Fairchild. Mason Fairchild, one of my tight ends to watch for at the beginning of the season for the John Mackey Award. 2 touchdowns in the game. Converted 3rd and 13. Point after attempt is blocked, though. Then Kansas scores a 44-yard touchdown pass again to Mason Fairchild for his second touchdown of the game. And the 2-point attempt is no good. All this was set up by Lawrence Arnold, 28-yard catch. With 2:52 left in the second quarter, Oklahoma State gets a 42-yard Ali Gordon touchdown run. Kansas then answers with a 49-yard touchdown pass to Quentin Skinner, but the 2-point again is no good. But Kansas gets the ball first in the second half, scores a 42-yard touchdown pass to Quentin Skinner. Oklahoma State answers with a 26-yard field goal. But then Jason Beam in Kansas starts to melt. Jason Beam throws his first interception, leads to Oklahoma State 21-yard field goal. Then Jason Beam throws another interception with the ball being tipped, leads to a 43-yard field goal missed. Then on 4th and 4, Jason Beam is sacked, fumbled, recovered by Kansas, but it's 4th down. It doesn't matter. Leads to a 6-yard touchdown pass to Brennan Presley, but the 2-point is no good, so it's a 7-point game. But then Kansas, no, it's not a 7-point game, excuse me. It's a 4-point game. 4-point game. So with all that being said, after the missed field goal, still being up 2, the turnover on downs, instead of punting the ball, the touchdown, you're down 4 with a chance to win the game. Kansas Turnover on downs, 4th and 1. Beans passes incomplete. Leads to a 42-yard field goal with barely any time left. Kansas doesn't have no time to score. Lose by a touchdown. Kansas had 2 picks, 2 turnovers on downs to end the game. That is 4 turnovers in their last 4 drives while up 5. Blows the game. Blows my parlay. I keep telling you I'm a degenerate. Had Kansas -3, was looking good. The only leg that lost for $300 on a $5 free bet. I was hot, but it's college football. It's gambling. Jason Bean blows the game. Kansas melts in Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State still only 2 losses on the year. Oklahoma State, if they keep this up, can be ranked later, but I know this one thing. Oklahoma State offense has been playing great last week. Was great last week against K-State. Was great this week against Kansas. I know as soon as I jump on the Oklahoma State bandwagon, the offense is going to go back to what it was week 1. Go back to what it was against South Alabama. It's going to revert. I know it is. But Allen Bowman's been playing good. Ollie Gordon been running his behind off. It's great win against Oklahoma State at home. Great win for Oklahoma State at home. And shout out Cam Epps, man. Cam Epps had a pretty decent game at cornerback again. So shout out Cam Epps. Now for the last game of the afternoon slot, and this was a defensive slugfest, like I told y'all. The over-under was like 36.5, and the under hit. The under hit. Iowa, I picked Wisconsin to win this game. Wisconsin's quarterback, Tanner Mordecai, ended up getting hurt right before the end of halftime. It was out for the game. Iowa's tight end, Eric All, ended up getting hurt for the rest of the game. So Iowa was without his tight end. Wisconsin was without his quarterback. Iowa was already without Cade McNamara, out for the season with an ACL. Iowa wins the game 15-6. We'll get into the game. So Iowa gets the ball first with punts. There's a lot of punts in this game, if you don't know. Wisconsin, turnover went down 4th and 1 at Iowa's 13. Braylon Allen was stuffed short on the run. It leads to an Iowa State turnover on down 4th and 3, run, tackle for a 5-yard loss. Leads to a Wisconsin punt. So all that, 0 points. With 11:49 left in the second quarter, LaShawn Williams scores an 82-yard touchdown run, which was I believe the only touchdown of the game. With 1:30 left in the second quarter, Tanner Mordecai is hurt. Out for the game on a run, I believe, run up the sideline. I think he scrambled and got hurt at the end. Wisconsin starts the second half, 36-yard field goal. Iowa starts the second half with a 3-and-out punt. Wisconsin, a 52-yard field goal, which is good. So they're down 1. With 13:08 left in the game, Iowa scores a 48-yard field goal. Back up 4. Wisconsin, Braden Locke sacks for a safety. So now Wisconsin's up 6. Then after that, 3:01 left, Braden Locke fumbles. Iowa recovers, leads to a 40-yard field goal, putting the game out of reach late. Iowa's now up 2 possessions, up 15-6. Braden Locke throws a pick anyway in Iowa territory. Iowa nails it out to win the game. Like I said, there's nothing really to talk about here. Iowa just got the one big play, and that was literally the difference in the game. The one touchdown, the 82-yard touchdown run, literally the difference. Wisconsin offense did not show up. Braylon Allen tried as he might, just can't get it done on his own. Tanner Mordecai, prayers up, but I think he was in a sling, so his season might be over. Huge loss for Wisconsin. Iowa is now in firm control of the Big Ten West. Might even now win the Big Ten West. And it sucks because whoever wins the Big Ten East is just going to probably blast through Iowa. So, again, the Big Ten is looking like the Big Ten East champ is going to win it. Now for the late nights, and we get into Caleb Williams' disastrous performance. SC, who I picked to win this game, I know SC has not won in Notre Dame for a long time, but they haven't had a Caleb Williams. And Notre Dame said, we don't care if you have a Caleb Williams. You're still not going to win this game. And they win the game 48-20 against SC. SC offense looked terrible in the first half. I don't even think they scored in the first half. So let's get into it. SC gets the ball first. Caleb Williams throws a pick. Throws a pick to Xavier Scott. Leads to a 4-yard to Brian Payne touchdown catch. Then, with 11:13 left in the first quarter, SC scores a 25-yard field goal. Notre Dame scores a 36-yard field goal. Answers. SC punts on 4th and 6, but a penalty running into the punter. Goes for it now on 4th and 1. Caleb Williams with an 8-yard run, but it leads to a turnover on downs. 4th down, tackle for a 5-yard loss, leads to a punt. Caleb Williams throws his second interception to Xavier Watts, who takes it all the way down to the 2, almost had a pick 6. Leads to a 2-yard Aldrich Estimate touchdown run. Then Caleb Williams throws his third interception, this time to probably a Jim Thorpe winner of the year, my Jim Thorpe winner of the year, Benjamin Morrison. Leads to a 1-yard Aldrich Estimate touchdown run. Then SC scores a 48-yard field goal before the half. Questionable timeout by Notre Dame. I understand Marcus Williams was probably going to get an offsides call on. So this is my thing, right? So SC, I believe, completes a pass, and now they're scrambling to clock the ball. But I don't think they had enough time to even get the play off. I think if Marcus Freeman lets that run out, they look at the play, they realize the ball is at the time is at 000 before Caleb Williams gets the spike off. No need for a timeout. The half will be over. The penalty won't matter because the ball was not hiked. You don't have to call a timeout and bail SC out and give them 3 points. That's just my opinion. That's what I saw. But moving on, we then go to the second half, which both teams punt, go 3-and-out and punt in the second half. SC scored a 31-yard Marshawn Lloyd touchdown run. Notre Dame answered with a 46-yard Chris Tyree touchdown catch. Got behind the defense and burned the man. With 9:04 left in the fourth quarter, SC throws a 7-yard touchdown to Brendan Rice. Notre Dame takes kickoff to the house. Jadarian Price, 99-yard kick 6 to the house. SC a turnover on down, 4th and 9. Caleb Williams is sacked. Leads to a 23-yard field goal. Then Mario Williams catches the ball, try to make a move. He just drops it. Xavier Watts, Johnny on the spot, picks it up to the crib for a touchdown. And Quint Joyner fumbles and Notre Dame recovers and runs out the clock. SC gets the mess beat out of him by Notre Dame. Caleb Williams, 3 turnovers, unacceptable. Could not get this offense going. Like I said, those 3 picks, you might have lost yourself the Heisman. And he was throwing gifts. It's not like the receivers might have tipped the ball and the DB just made a good play. No, these were gifts. These were gifted interceptions. Like, he was just throwing them right to the defense, and the defense was just like, thank you. Xavier Watts, who, no secret, will be on my major performances. Johnny on the spot for 2 of them. So, Caleb Williams has to get his team together. Somebody's going to have a players meeting, and they got to figure it out. They have to figure it out. Like I said, they've been playing with fire. I mentioned it on the recap, on the preview show. They've been playing with fire all like these past 2 weeks, now third, and they finally got burned. They didn't play teams good enough to burn them for playing with fire. Now they got burned. They played a team. You mess around, you're going to find out, and they found out in a 20-point L. So SC has a chance to bounce back. Playoffs looking bleak, but not unobtainable. Got to win out. Got to beat Oregon. Think they play Washington. Got to win those games to have a chance. Now, we move on to a better game. Don't know how they was ranked coming into this game, but they were ranked number 25 Miami at 12 ranked UNC. I had UNC winning this game. I went with the better quarterback, in my opinion, Drake May, the better quarterback. The better defense, well, didn't show up, which was Miami. But UNC won the game 31-21. Miami, like I said earlier, now unranked. UNC now top 10. Miami gets the ball first, leads to a punt. UNC punts as well on their first drive. The UNC scores an 18-yard Tez Walker. Shout out to Tez. Free Tez Walker. The NCAA didn't free them. They didn't let my boy play. And he gets an 18-yard touchdown catch. Set up by J.J. Jones, 48-yard catch. Miami then drives down to the 1. Henry Parrish Jr. fumbles right at the 1. UNC picks it up. They didn't take a knee in the end zone. They actually run it out to the 5. But it leads to a punt. But on the punt, I believe the U gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, but they still punt anyway after. Then Miami scores an 18-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Restrepo, set up by a defensive holding and an unsportsmanlike conduct flag. Miami then scores a 35-yard touchdown pass to Jacoby George, converted a 4th and 2 to get that. UNC answers with a 2-yard Marion Hampton touchdown run, set up by an unsportsmanlike on the coach of Miami, trying to set up some defenses, trying to set up some substitutions. Didn't like what he see. The refs thought he was yelling at them. He might have been yelling at a ref, might have been yelling at a player. Don't really know. Anyway, results in a unsportsmanlike conduct, and then USC scores. Miami gets a 28-yard field goal right before the half, however, to go up 17-14. But then UNC scores a 56-yard touchdown to Tez Walker to start the second half in front of his peoples. He's from, I believe, the Raleigh area or Chapel Hill area. I know he's from North Carolina. Don't know specifically where, but I know he had a lot of people at the game. Scores again in front of his people, but that wouldn't be it for Tez Walker. Miami then TVD throws an interception, leads to a 33-yard Tez Walker touchdown catch. Now he has the hat trick. No secret, he's on major performances. Major performance by my boy, the transfer from Kent State. UNC then scores a 4-yard touchdown pass to Marion Hampton. Then Miami gets a turnover on downs, 4th and 10. TVD pass incomplete, leads to a 35-yard field goal. Miami would then answer with a 13-yard Xavier Restrepo touchdown catch. UNC would then answer with a 23-yard field goal set up by a 60-yard Marion Hampton run. Then Miami answers with a 54-yard touchdown pass to Brashard Smith. Oh, hold on. I might have got the score of this game wrong. And then UNC recovers an onside kick. Tez Walker leads to a 3-and-out punt. But then TVD will throw a pick to end the game. Let me make sure I got this score correct because Miami at 17. They scored a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. Hold on. I might have got the score of this game incorrect. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I was watching the game, so I don't know how I wrote it down incorrect, but it happens. I'm human, so definitely could have wrote it down incorrect. No, 31-41. I put 21-31. Jesus, that is completely off. The final score was 31-41. Like I said, I am human. You know what I'm saying? I do make mistakes, so. But Drake made phenomenal, not even Drake made phenomenal night for Tez Walker, the night that he deserved. He deserved it. He fought hard to gain eligibility against the NCAA. They were not trying to let him play at first. He finally granted his eligibility. First game in his home crowd. It's only right that he gets his triple hat in the home crowd with his family in the stands. Just a feel-good story for Tez Walker. Yeah, man. TBD, 2 picks, 2 late game picks. Miami now on a 2-game slide. Not good, especially coming off a game that you should have won against Georgia Tech. We don't have to bring that up again, but not good for Miami. Now, my upset pick, Mizzou at Kentucky, 24th at the time ranked Kentucky. I went with Mizzou. I just feel like Mizzou had the better quarterback. I don't trust Devin Leary. I don't think Devin Leary is that good. I'm sorry. Brady Cook is the better quarterback. I went with the better offense, the more explosive offense. Ray Davis is probably the best player in the game offensively. But when you add Theo Weiss, Luther Burden didn't have a good game. He was they did a pretty good job taking him away, but they still had Cody Schrader, Theo Weiss. Brady Cook got into it late. We'll get into it, but I did pick Mizzou to win, and they did win 38-21 going into Lexington, Kentucky with the W. Mizzou gets the ball and goes 3-and-out and punts. Then Kentucky, it looked like nobody wanted to tackle Ray Davis. They just moved the ball down the field with Ray Davis, and Ray Davis gets a 7-yard touchdown pass after Devin Leary's first rushing touchdown gets called back due to a holding. Then Mizzou, Brady Cook throws an interception which leads to a 13-yard Devin Leary touchdown run. So now he gets his first touchdown run in a year. Then Mizzou answers with a 39-yard fake punt. The punter throws a dime to Marquise Johnson, the punter, Luke Bauer. 39-yard fake punt for a touchdown. And that swung the momentum of the game. Once Mizzou got that, game changed. It was like Mizzou was like, oh, we can win this game. We can play with these guys. We can score. We can do stuff to move the ball. We can get touchdowns. We can play with them. So Mizzou then gets a 25-yard field goal after getting a stop. Then Mizzou gets an 18-yard touchdown pass to Theo Weiss Jr. Now they go up 17-14. Kentucky, Barryon Brown fumbles to start the second half. Mizzou recovers, leads to a 31-yard field goal. Then Mizzou, 46-yard field goal is blocked, which leads to a 4-yard touchdown pass to Anthony Brown Steffens. Mizzou back down 1. Kentucky's up 1. But Mizzou said, all right, cool, no sweat. Answers with a 1-yard Brady Cook touchdown run. And the 2-point is good after defensive flags. So they go up 28-21. Kentucky was scoring no more. Mizzou scores a 19-yard Cody Schrader touchdown run. Cody Schrader really got going late. He was bottled up throughout the first half, really majority of the game. Got going late. Kentucky, Devin Leary throws an interception, leads to a Mizzou punt. But then Devin Leary said, here you go, try again. Throws another interception, leads to a 29-yard field goal. And then Kentucky, 4th and goal, turnover on downs. The pass is incomplete. It's complete, but it's short of a touchdown. Mizzou news it out. Mizzou wins the game. Like I said, the fake punt touchdown really swung the momentum of the game. Mizzou offense woke up. The Mizzou team woke up. Defense got to stop. Offense went down and got a field goal. Then they went and got a touchdown. Then they started playing Ray Davis better. It just energized the team. It gave them the confidence that they needed to win the game. Shout out Mizzou, now ranked 1 loss, already bowl eligible in October. This Mizzou, man, again, I can't say enough apologies for y'all. I think I had y'all winning 6 or 7 games. I really think it was 6, maybe even 5. But man, great season so far. And like y'all coach said, Eli Drinkwood said, why stop now? Why not keep going? So shout out. Now the last game I have for y'all tonight, before we get into major performances, is 18th ranked UCLA at 15th ranked Oregon State. I did pick Oregon State to win this game. Better defense, more. No, I tried not to use the word veteran in college, but more veteran quarterback. Better run game, I think, in my opinion, just a better overall team. And Oregon State pulled out the dub. Oregon State will go on to win it 38-6 to 24. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about earlier. UCLA gets the ball first. And for the 3rd game straight, Dante Moore starts the game with an interception. It's just like a game day tradition. I'm going to get the ball, I'm going to throw a pick, and then we can play football. He throws a 3rd straight game starting interception, leads to a 36-yard field goal. You can't do that against this Oregon State team. They're already a better team. Oregon State then gets a 43-yard field goal as an extra possession. Dante Moore throws his 2nd interception, leads to an Aiden Chillis 10-yard touchdown pass to Jack Villan. Now, DJU did get hurt. He did get hurt, but he did come back. Now, UCLA didn't answer with a 10-yard touchdown pass to Logan Lawyer. Oregon State, Deshaun Fenwick fumbles. It leads to a UCLA 36-yard field goal. Oregon State answers with a 26-yard field goal. Dante Moore then throws a pick 6 to Ryan Cooper for his 3rd interception of the day. Talented freshman quarterback, has to cut the picks out. Probably will come with time. Has to cut them. UCLA then runs out the first half. To start the second half, both teams punt. Then Oregon State gets a 43-yard touchdown pass to Silas Bowden, but the 2-point conversion is no good. UCLA answers with a 9-yard TJ Harden touchdown run, set up by a 28-yard Colin Shalee run, the transfer from Kent State. Oregon State answers with a 32-yard Jack Velling touchdown catch. I forgot to write touchdown. Set up by a 41-yard Jack Villan reception. UCLA answers with a 7-yard Carson Steele touchdown run. But then on their next drive, after 2 false starts, moving the ball, 4th and 8 turns into 4th and 18. Still have to go for it late in the game. Turnover on downs. Dante Moore is sacked, but it leads to an Oregon State punt. UCLA gets the ball, drives down again, but 2 sacks ruin the drive. Turnover on downs on 4th and 27. They only get a gain of 3. Like I said, it's desperation at this time. Oregon State nails it out. The game is over. Oregon State wins. UCLA drops to 25, ranked 25 in the country. Now for UCLA, Dante Moore obviously has to stop the interceptions. Can't keep putting your team in holes to start the game. Yes, he threw 3 straight picks in 3 straight games. At least the last 2 haven't been pick sixes. If you want to look at any bright side of that, that's the bright side of it. Still can't start games with interceptions. For Oregon State, was able to run the ball. DJU was able to run and rely on the run to set up the play action, which Oregon State wants to do. Silas Bowden got his explosive play, 43-yard touchdown catch. UCLA, man, Chip Kelly, I don't know what really more to say. Really, it's really Dante Moore with these interceptions, to be honest. Now we're going to get into the last segment of the show. If you've been watching the show the whole time, I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all in the comments. But we just got to get through these major performances. And then I'll touch on an MSU game and South Carolina game briefly. And then I'm going to let y'all go watch y'all Sunday night football. Major performances. Got to start with the weekday games. Quentin Cooley of Liberty, 28 carries, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns in the Liberty win over Jack State. Kelly Akari, who I thought would be a major performer, but not like this. 8 catches, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the UTEP win over FIU. Diego Pavea, quarterback, New Mexico State, 20 of 36 for 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 carries, 115 yards, and another touchdown on the ground, 3 total touchdowns. over 400 total yards. New Mexico State quarterback. Then we have Malik Sherrod, running back of Fresno State, 24 carries, 131 yards, 3 touchdowns with 3 catches and 35 yards. Then we have Alec Ayomanor, receiver from Stanford, 13 catches, 294 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the one to go in the double overtime. Then we have Ricky Pearsall, who killed my South Carolina Gamecocks, wide receiver of Florida, 10 catches, 166 yards, and a game-winning touchdown against South Carolina. Got to go with his quarterback, Graham Mertz, who I've been killing, but he had a great game, 30 of 48, 423 yards, 3 touchdowns for Florida. Then we go to Keon Coleman, my guy, Florida State, 9 catches for $140 and a touchdown. Got to go to Tez Walker, wide receiver of North Carolina, 6 catches, 132 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Have yourself a day. Have the hat trick in front of your family. And our last major performer, got to go with a defender. Got to go with a DB. I play corner. Xavier Watts, 7 tackles, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Have yourself a day. Notre Dame defensive back with the major performance. Now, that is my major performance segment. If you have any questions, any comments, you want to nominate a guy, just let me know in the comment section. Now, I want to end it. I just got some brief final words with MSU. MSU, Caden Hauser, look phenomenal. But, man, we cannot keep finding ways to lose games. Up 24-6 going into the 4th. And we found every way to lose that game. Dropped the punt, led to a touchdown recovery. Then give up a long drive. Then we don't even recover. They kick the ball off to us, and we don't get it. We lose the kickoff. Like it wasn't an onside kick, and they recovered. They kicked it deep, and they got the ball. Leads to a Calvin Nunn touchdown. Found every way to shoot ourselves in the foot. We get one drive, don't score, punt it away, and don't get the ball back with 7-8 minutes left in the game. Are we serious, MSU? Now for South Carolina, up 10. Up 9, excuse me. No. We were up 10 with 9 minutes and some change left. Florida State has a 4th and 11. They throw a freaking pass to the flats at the line of scrimmage. All we got to do is tackle it up, and we pretty much put ourselves in cruise control. We missed the tackle. They go on and score a touchdown. We get the ball. Can't kill the clock. We just got to keep them out the end zone. They burn us down the field, and then we throw a pick to end the game. Like my 2 college teams choke the games away, man. It sucks. College football is not it's not a good place for me this year. I gotta wait for college basketball. MSU basketball is on the horizon. Can't wait. But that's it for y'all. That's all I have for y'all today. I know it's an hour 15. Like, that's it, man. I can't even. It's about time. I will see y'all tomorrow to preview the Tuesday and the Wednesday games coming up. I may even just do the weekday games and just leave y'all Wednesday with the Saturday games. But that's all I have for y'all today. Y'all enjoy the rest of the Sunday Night Football, and I will catch y'all Monday. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.